Hi guys, it's Meridy here, and I'm here today with Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and today I'm going to be going over the instructions for the Wild Child Page Kit. First, I will go over what is included in your kit. First, you're going to have one sheet of full color instructions that has pictures and instructions on the front and back. And then you're going to have the following embellishments. There's one pack of Not Just for Boys Wild Child rainbow buttons. They're little wooden buttons. You're going to get one Echo Park Let's Go Camping shooting arrow stencil. Okay. You're going to have one Boho Baby, Simple Stories Boho Baby 12x12 sticker sheet. And although it's called Boho Baby, there is plenty of stuff in here that can be used for any age kids, not just little babies. And you're going to have one of the Cocoa Vanilla These Days mini puffy alphabets with 160 pieces. These are so cute. There are so many letters in here. You can get lots and lots of titles and reuse this even after you finish this layout. I love these. Okay, and then the papers that you're going to get are Cartabella Flora number 5, and it's called Happy Small Floral. And this paper is nice because it's this plaid on one side, and if you're making a little bit of a more feminine layout, it's got this floral print, and it matches so well with these things, just a little bit sticking out. So that's why I included this in this kit. You can use either side of this paper when you're putting it together, depending on what your pictures are. And you're going to get one sheet of Simple Stories Boho Baby 3x4 page elements, cut apart elements. And that's on the back B side. And one sheet of Boho Baby Hello World. It's stripes on one side and the alphabet on the other. And again, I tried to pick out papers that were not too baby themed and that can be used for even a little bit older kids. Then you're going to get one sheet of powder blue basil cardstock, one sheet of white smooth cardstock, and 2 sheets of oatmeal AC cardstock, and that's textured a little. So those are all of the pieces that you're going to get in your kit. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is grab your instruction sheet, and there are cut apart guides on your instruction sheet showing you exactly where to cut these papers. So that is the first thing that I want you to do, is cut apart all of your papers to the dimensions outlined on the instruction guide. And I'm going to go do that, and I will be right back. Alrighty friends, the first thing that you're going to want to do after you get your papers trimmed down is grab the 2 background cardstock pieces, which are going to be this this color right here. Let me grab the other one, and your stencil, because we're going to do a little stencil work, and we're going to do that at the very beginning. And then you're going to want to probably put both of these papers on your work surface together, because the stenciling is going to go from one side to the other. So we're going to start like this. Okay, and we're not going to stencil the entire background. We're just going to stencil where I know that we need a little stencil work. So I will show you where that is. We're going to do like probably just one little arrow stencil down here, and a few in this little area right here, and then a few right here that go over both pages, and then we'll work on this page next. But let's start with this side, and we'll start with the one at the bottom first, towards the bottom. And the 3 colors that we're going to use for stenciling, you're going to want to use probably like a maroonish brown, a yellow, like a goldenrod color yellow, and a light green. So I used Distress Oxide Aged Mahogany for one color, and Distress Oxide Iced Spruce, and Distress Oxide Scattered Straw. And you can do this in any order that you'd like, but I'm going to show you the way that I did it. I used 3 little brushes. You can use paint brushes. These are like flat brushes. I think they're meant for stencils, but you could use paint brushes too if you have paint brushes. And what I'm going to do is start with the yellow, and I am going to just stencil the stick part of the arrow, if that makes sense, with the yellow. So just like the stick part, and I'm gonna kind of leave the middle untouched. And I went a little bit on the ends of the arrows into this end portion. And then I'm gonna come in with the iced spruce, and I'm gonna color the two tips of the arrows with that. And these little end things, the little end pieces of the arrow. And then I'm gonna come in at the very end with my aged mahogany and just do a small little dot in the middle. So when I remove my stencil, you'll see it's like an ombre effect of those stencils, of that stenciling. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do, I'll show you one more section, and then I'm gonna turn off the video to work on some more sections. I'm gonna keep that there so they're kind of still lined up when I'm working up here. Actually, I'm gonna, there. So it's still like the pattern is repeating nicely. So I will start with yellow, and I'm just gonna randomly do a few. And I'm not gonna do every one because I want this to look kind of random. And there's going to be ephemera and stickers and stuff overlapping these, so they're not even all going to show. But yeah, but that's why we're not doing too much, because they're just gonna get covered up. Okay, so I did my yellow, and next I'm going to do my iced spruce. You might not want to set your inks on your good paper over here like I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Like you might want to just put a scratch piece of paper down or something. Let's see, I did this one. And then I'm going to do a couple more here, and then I'm gonna shut this off and show you, and I'll come back when it's all finished, just because this is kind of long to watch. I don't want you to get bored. But I really liked the middle being this maroon color. It just kind of made it look really cool, like that. So I think I'm gonna add like one more stencil up, or one more set of arrows. You just want to line it up with what you've already done. I'm gonna make this one right here, and then that will get me kind of going to my next little grouping as well. But I will come back and show you where I stenciled everything before I put any more layers down. So when I turn off this video and finish stenciling, I'll come back and show you what it will look like totally completed. Okay, and then, so this is where I'm going to put more stencils. I'm gonna put a grouping right across here that goes kind of onto this page. And then I'm gonna put another little cluster in this area of this page. And then I'm gonna put one more little arrow down here. So I'm gonna go do that off camera, and I will be right back to show you what it looks like at the end. Alrighty guys, so I used my inks and my stencil, and I got all this stencil work done. And this is kind of the areas that I wanted it to be done in. So we are going to start with the left-hand side of this page. So I'm gonna move this side, and we're gonna just work on the left-hand side right now. And so the first thing that you're going to want to grab is this paper that you cut from the alphabet paper. And you can go ahead and rip down the center of this. And it's exposing the white core in there. And just rip straight down the center. And you're gonna use one piece right there, and then you're gonna flip this piece and use it like that. Okay, and then you're gonna grab this blue strip of paper. I believe it's 3 inches by 12 inches maybe. And you're just gonna tear close to the edge of this one, not down the center. And just tear all the way to expose, well, it's not a white core on this one, it's solid light blue in the center, but you can see like where you've torn there as opposed to the back that looks like that. And this piece is going to wedge right under there. So we're gonna go ahead and adhere all 3 of those down. And I'm just gonna start with the one that's the furthest in the back, which is this light blue one. And I'm just gonna wedge it right under there. And then I'll use this alphabet one next. It's just gonna go, let's see. I'm gonna keep that other piece there so I can see how much I'm covering up. I put this on a little bit crooked. Straighten that out. Okay. And then last but not least, I'll put this stripe one down. And it just goes right down the edge. Okay. And then as you may know from other videos, instead of using photos for my videos, I use white pieces of cardstock to represent my photos. And these 3 photos I have actually trimmed down to slightly smaller than 3 inches by 4 inches. They're actually 2 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And that is simply because they're a lot easier to mat when they're just shy of 3 inches by 4 inches. So what I'm cutting right now is the white paper that comes in your kit. And I'm just cutting photo mats that are exactly 3 inches by 4 inches out of this white paper, that sheet of paper that came in your kit. And I'm cutting 3 photo mats. So you can go ahead and mat your 3 photos on the 3 photo mats. And once you get those matted, I know it's kind of hard to tell because now this is matted white on white, but just pretend that these are the photos and they're on white photo mats. And then you're gonna want to mat those 3 on this yellow paper, just like this. And then you're gonna trim off the bottom. So I'll show you what I mean. Got one right there. One right there. Okay. So now that you've got these 3 matted, you can just go ahead and trim off the bottom of this piece. I left it whole in the cutting guides because in case you only have 2 pictures maybe that you've got, or a picture going a different direction. That way this is kind of versatile. Okay. So then we can go ahead and adhere this down because it's just gonna stay right here. And now it is time for our embellishments. So I have a little piece of this white paper that I used, that I matted the photos on. There's gonna be a lot of scraps of this left. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna make a little cut mark right down the exact center. And then I'm gonna take my scissors and trim from the corner to the end of that cut, and from this corner. So now we have like a little white notched banner. I'm gonna go ahead and adhere that underneath here, because that is going to be where my title lives. That looks about right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and come over to my cut aparts, and I'm going to use 2 of these cut aparts. I'm going to use this Born to Be Wild and this alphabet. And to make that very simple, I'm just going to trim those 2 cutter parts out. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and fussy cut a little bit of this. So let me show you exactly how I'm going to fussy cut. I'm just going to fussy cut right around this little alphabet banner. If you want to get real fancy, which I'm not going to do on camera right here, you can use an X-Acto knife and cut inside, I'll show you, inside of the little hanging bow. Like you can use an X-Acto knife and cut that little white out if you want to get a little fancier. And then on this Born to be Wild, I'm just going to go ahead and trim it so I can read the words. And then I'm going to notch the end like a banner, like we did on this white piece. I'm going to notch the end and cut from the corner and the corner. And I'm going to tuck that one under here. Okay, and then I am going to go ahead, let me get my good fussy cutting scissors. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fussy cut this lion because I just thought he was cute. And these pictures, the pictures that I originally made my layout with are of my son and his friends. They were in kindergarten and it was a school event at McDonald's. It's called McTeacher Night, where the teachers, they help work the drive-through and do stuff. It's a fundraiser for my kids' school, and the school makes money from it. So the kids love it because they see all their teachers at McDonald's. Anyways, but he was in kindergarten, so that's why I thought that those pictures would go pretty good with these supplies, like the little alphabet sign and whatnot. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and adhere these things down because I like where they are, just like that. So I'll wedge this guy under here. And I am gonna go ahead and pop the little lion up with dimensional adhesive so he can be popping off the page a little. Put some foam tape on the back of him. And then you can go right there. And then I'm gonna pull out the stickers, the sticker sheet for this kit. And I'm just gonna put a few stickers that kind of, I think, coordinate with the theme of this layout. The little star, this little wood tab is cute. This other star right here is pretty cute. And since it's a school event, that's why I liked the stars with it. Put another little star in here. I really like this little banner, beaded little banner piece. Let's put that down there. And then I'm going to use my alphabet stickers to make a title. So on my original layout that I included my pictures, that you can see photos of that on the website, I put McDonald's with buddies because he was with his buddies, but I'm gonna put fun with friends on this one just for the sake of the video. And I am gonna speed the video up while I'm putting all these letters on so you don't have to watch. So I will come back when I get my title, Fun with Friends, on there. Alrighty, so there's my title. And the last thing that we're going to add to this layout is one of those wooden buttons that comes with this kit. Let me see. You'll get a pack of 10 wooden buttons. We don't even use all of them on these layouts, so you'll have some extras. And I like to use Eileen's tacky glue to glue down wood because it seems to hold it pretty good and pretty quickly. So that is the left-hand side of this layout, and we are going to move on to the right-hand side, which is going to go right next to it. So you have already got your paper that you've already stenciled. And I'm going to move this page off to the side while we work on this one. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is take your photos, and again, I am going to use 4 white pieces of paper to represent my photos, and these 4 photos are trimmed down slightly smaller than 3x4. They're 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And the first thing that I'm going to do is give them a very small white mat. My mat isn't even a whole 4 inches because I just want this mat a whole, it's not even a whole 3 inches by 4 inches. It's even a little smaller than that because I just want this mat to just be barely sticking out. I want it to be really thin, this white one. So I cut 4 pieces of paper to mat those on, and I just cut them very small. And I will go ahead and mat them. And then now you're going to take this blue cardstock that you have left and mat those 4 photos on the blue cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So you've double matted these pictures. And then you can adhere those right down on this. And these are going to be a very thin mat too. So these are just real thin, fine mats, just to make these pictures pop off of the plaid paper that we're going to put them on next. Oh, and I forgot to even mention on the other side of the layout, which you can do, but also on this side, if you would like your layout to look a little more feminine, instead of using this side, use this side, because this blue matches perfectly there too. So if you want to do that, you can mat them on this side, but I'm gonna mat them on the yellow side. So I just grabbed all 4 of my pictures and this big square piece of the plaid paper that we cut, and I'm gonna adhere them all on there, get them matted, and I'm going to put 1 portrait orientation and 1 landscape orientation next to each other on the top like that. And then I'm going to do the opposite on the bottom. Put the portrait over here and the landscape over here. Boom, that looks good. Okay, now we've got this bigger sheet of alphabet paper. When you mat this, you can leave it matted like this so that all the alphabet letters stick out, or you can kind of scooch this up to the corner. And you can see, like if I trim this back mat like that, I won't see any letters except for this letter G, and I'm gonna show you what you can do to kind of hide that letter G. Because I just want this to look like a solid piece of cardstock. I don't want all the letters sticking out on the edges of this. So I am going to trim away the edges. And then I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna, see that G? I'm gonna turn that back paper because it doesn't matter if it's right side up or not if I'm not seeing any of these letters. So I am going to mat this just like that and hide all of those letters. If you wanted to be super special, you could gut this. If you wanted to save some of this striped paper for another layout, you could gut that, but I'm not doing that right now. But that would be some high-tech, super special scrapbooking. Okay, so now I've got this like this, and you could see a little bit of that letter G, which is fine. Oh, I didn't mean to put tape there yet. Let's just move this off to the side for a moment. Next, we're going to grab this piece of paper and this piece of paper, and I'm going to go ahead and tear right underneath here, right underneath that top row. I'm going to tear up towards me, so the white core is showing right underneath this top row of letters. Like that. And then this one I will flip over and it will go like that. And then you're gonna take this piece and rip it, tear it just like this towards you. And after you tear that one, you can kind of set all of these things down here. I've kind of staggered mine a little. Just about like that. And then you can go ahead and adhere each layer. And I'm gonna start with the bottom with this blue layer. And I'm going to adhere it about a little bit up from the bottom. You can see my little arrow that I stenciled there. And then this one can go next, staggered right over here. I'm not leaving too much of the blue showing because I'm even gonna move it down a little more because I don't want this gap. Do you see when I put this paper down? I don't want that gap there. Actually, to make that go away, I'm just gonna tear a little bit up in here. So I can go like that and then still read the alphabet. So I can leave that how it is. And then you can just place this right down here. And then we can finally adhere this photo block over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish it, putting tape on that. And I'm gonna set this one right about there. Alrighty, now we have, we're gonna use some more of these cut aparts. I'm gonna cut out the one that says, "You are my sunshine." And then I'm going to just trim like that. And we have a lot of these. Oh, and I'm gonna use the rainbow one too. I'm gonna use the rainbow one and the "You are my sunshine." And then you've got a lot of these left to use on another layout if you want to make other layouts. And then I'm gonna do a quick fussy cut of the rainbow. This is a very simple fussy cut. So if you're not a fan of fussy cutting, at least this one is not very hard. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut this. I'm gonna cut straight across where it says, "You are my sunshine." I'm just going to put it in my trimmer and cut straight across like that. And then I will cut this sun out. If you're not a fan of fussy cutting, you could just cut around the sun like this. And then if you don't mind fussy cutting so much, you can go back in and cut between each of the rays. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera. Alrighty, so we've got this whole little sun fussy cut. And I'm gonna use the rainbow to cover up that G. Remember the G we had sticking out. So first off, I am going to put this "You are my sunshine" sticking out of there. And I want this to say, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine," like the lyrics to the song. So the way I'm gonna make that is, I'll show you that in just a second. Let me get this sun adhered down and this rainbow adhered down, and then I'll show you my little idea. There's the sun, and then the rainbow I am gonna put up on foam tape. And just gonna quickly pop that up. Okay, now we've got these stickers, and there's a sticker that says "My Sunshine," but it doesn't say "only." So it says "You are my sunshine," and then I'm going to cut "my" and "sunshine" apart. And I'm going to take a thin marker and write only in that space. And I'm gonna write it in capital letters, tall, skinny capital letters. So it kind of matches these letters. So it says, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." And that made that embellishment work to say exactly what I wanted. And next, we are going to put, I used this sticker up here over the top of this photo, this banner sticker. And then I've got this little mushroom and a little heart. And I got another little heart that I put down here, and a star, a gold star. And then I'm going to add a couple of more of the buttons on this side. I'll put one right here and one up here. And I'm gonna glue those down again with tacky glue. And then if you wanted to add journaling or a date, you could do that. You've got some space over here, a nice little white space over there. If you want to add a subtitle on this side of the page, this is a perfect spot to add a little subtitle. So I'm just gonna put love, just because it's short and quick for this video, but you could put any subtitle that you wanted down there, over there, in the middle of there. Oops, I just peeled off the whole sticker trying to go fast. Let's try L-O. And then pretty much that's gonna wrap up this layout. I will have still shots at the end of this video for you. There's also a picture of this on the bottom of your instruction sheet. There's pictures on the on our website under the product listing, which is Wild Child. And even after these kits sell out, we will still leave the product photos up so you can still refer back to them. And it has a picture of this layout using, you know, the one I made in the video, and also a picture of the layout with my photographs that I actually used on this layout. If you follow us on our Not Just for Boys Kit Club community Facebook page, you can find that our design team worked with the same kit but made a different layout. You know what, guys? When I'm looking at this all finished like this, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna add like one more little arrow right there, because it kind of just looks like a circle of arrows and I kind of don't like that. So I'm just gonna come in here. I'm gonna do this one and maybe these two, and I'm just gonna do them real quick. I can do them while I'm talking so you can see. If yours is looking a little sparse in the middle or in any area really, you could just come in at the end and quickly add in like one more stenciled arrow or two more stenciled arrows. I'll do that super quick. Especially, I think I like this because it flows over from one page to the next. So I think that was a good choice to pick those two. Anyway, like I was saying, our design team we have an amazing, bigger, newer design team. We expanded our design team. We kept most of our old design team and added 5 more ladies to our little team. So they will show you how they used this kit over on our Facebook page, our Facebook group, which is Not Just for Boys Kit Club community. And you can share your layouts that you make with this kit there, whether they be, you know, this with my instructions. Oh yeah, I think that looks better. Whether they're with my instructions or something that you made that's completely unique and your own, we would love to see it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.